Hi, my name is Tiffany Linke-Boyko. I'm the president of We Know Training. At We Know Training, we are a technology and a content company. And so we have a technology platform that is focused on creating the ease for learners and trainers as they're going through the credentialed space. That's where we're focused on. And then we provide training, online training for a variety of industries. And we're focused in credentialed spaces, those that require working with regulators and certification that you need to have before you can get on the job. And so right now we are focused with our brand Danatech in the safety space, which we'll be talking about more, our business and career college, finance and insurance. And then we have a variety of brands that we work with in the first responder space. And so our goal with that always is to provide great content and focused in certification.
That's phenomenal. And for everybody, I'm Dan Giurescu. I'm one of the co-founders at Credivera, and we provide proof of certification for the workforce. Our cloud technology ultimately collects and verifies digital credentials while using blockchain technology to maintain a real-time auditable record. Credivera's solution is currently used globally. We're meeting a lot of the accepted standards around GDPR and privacy compliances. And in just over 30 countries, which is very exciting for a tech company out of Calgary. Now, one of the key things for us is that the framework that we've built is focused on making up three important components around a network of information, where the technology integrates the source of truth of that data. Second, we focus on a digital wallet, so portable credentials, where the application that manages a worker's digital credential and accomplishments is part of what we're here to talk about today. And compliance tools, so the ability to have scalable solutions that assist organizations in their performance and provide an auditable record for reporting, which ultimately reduces liability. So for me, I'm really excited about being here today with Tiffany. As We Know Training and Credivera are really excited about the partnership that's about to kick off. And a few of the reasons why I'm excited about the partnership, Tiffany, is because one, it allows our customers, mutual customers, to have access to hundreds of storefronts of training providers. It provides employees access to real-time verified information directly from the source to ensure a compliant health and safety environment. And I'm also excited about the expansion of verified credentials via We Know Training's platforms. I mean, you guys operate across a lot of regulated industries, provide a lot of incredible content, and we're now seeing you obviously do a big push in the finance and insurance. You're doing phenomenal in the first responder space, and so much more to talk about in the Danatech side as well. So I don't know, Tiffany, what makes you excited about this?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we're always looking at how, credentialing is complicated. It's not that simple. It's required before you can do next steps into your career, or even to get onto a job site, or do your job. And so it's complex on both sides, as the person that I want a job and I want to get making money. And it's complex on the side of the people that are managing, the workforce, that are needing to make sure that they're abiding by those regulations. And so we're always looking for, how do we make that simpler? How do we, do it quicker so that people can do it faster, but have all that knowledge? And so we're working with subject matter experts. But then, what's that full package so they can come and say, great, I can take training. And now, the people on the site can feel confident that I know that person that's here has been trained well with quality content. But now I can see the proof of it and know when things expire and that piece of it. So I'm always excited about, how do we make that whole package experience so people can just come to one place and get everything they need.
That's so if I can summarize a few of the key points that you brought up, I think it's around the promoting of certainty and confidence, saving time for everybody ultimately when you vet somebody. You're seeing somebody's accreditations in real time and right from the source, meaning you guys provide exactly what's needed at that point in time. And ultimately supporting a lot of that auditing and compliance for the regulated industry space.
Yeah. I think
cool.
You summed it up perfectly.
That's awesome. Well, I guess this is exactly why the partnership is an awesome kickoff, because it allows everybody to to see this information, have that real-time trusted source of data wherever you are, wherever you go.
I think also, I
That's
mean,
pretty neat.
Dan, you and I talked about this kind of at the start. I think it's pretty awesome that we have an Edmonton and Calgary company
Yeah,
that are doing some, pretty awesome things from, Western Canada and, really, I think solving some big problems that are in, for people in the workforce. So I think, I'm biased, but I think that's a pretty awesome aspect of it also.
so we're kind of building our own Calgary Edmonton corridor on
Yeah,
verified
exactly.
credentials with proof.
Yeah.
This is exciting. This is phenomenal. And
Yeah.
it's interesting because the reality is this applies to ultimately any sort of a work site. Who cares that you're in Western Canada, you're in Eastern Canada, you're in the States, you're international, right? It's about having that verified proof. And Tiffany, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but you guys do work internationally, right?
Yeah, so yep, we do. We have courses that we sell all over the place, and some of it it's maybe not regulated, and they're looking just more to make good choices so that they're not having an accident on a work site or any of that. But yeah, there people everywhere are looking at, this is a risk. How do I solve this risk? And what are some of the solutions for that? And anytime they can kind of just have one simple solution, it's really important.
So it's not only the fact that we're building this really awesome Edmonton Calgary corridor for Western Canada on verified credentials, but what we're also saying is that the courses that are being developed in Western Canada by We Know Training are also internationally recognized as beyond value add courses, right? It's when somebody didn't have something, they now have accessibility to good content, stuff they can rely on and be auditable for, which is exciting because you're right. You can be a construction company in Papua New Guinea. You can be a construction company in Calgary. Your health and safety standards, your best practices, the way that you're creating that verified proof and reduction of liability through this less fraudulent certification kind of program, ultimately gives rise to online training, micro credentials, the ability for you to verify and track the training in a simple dashboard. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we had a group this past month that we've worked with from the Bahamas. They have seen new government come in, really prioritizing, that training and that safety on work sites. And so for us, we have those subject matter the experts that work on our training to make sure that it is relevant to what's going on. And then on the flip side, work with the instructional designers to create courses that are relevant to adult online training, because there's some really terrible stuff out there. And so it's how is this valuable, so that you don't just have a checkbox, but we really thought about how are you learning, and what how do people learn, and how do adults learn. And especially in this world that we're looking at right now, all of those pieces are becoming more and more important because classroom's not as relevant at the moment.
No kidding. Well, it's interesting because there's a lot of technological components that are kind of being hidden behind the scenes here, right? Like we use permission blockchain technology to ensure that you have that privacy component matched across any country. You have the permission sharing and selective disclosure. You have the ability to approach a verified digital credential with the new trend where everybody we've seen from Microsoft's announcements to LinkedIn's announcements and so on, but we're doing it in a way in which the end user ultimately doesn't even know that they're gaining all of these massive benefits, but the corporations that procure these courses and procure these kind of digital wallets, it really gives them that opportunity to stay ahead of the curve and be within all the regulatory compliances. So that's really, really neat. And you guys are awesome to work with, by the way, just so you know. Your tech team is right on point. They're doing, stuff that's traditional legacy to meet everybody's requirements, but also is looking always ahead to say, how do we connect systems better? How do we make this information seamlessly flow between multiple parties? Which is nice because, the truth is we all have to work with everybody from the mom and pop on an Excel spreadsheet to those that have, large LMS and HRIS systems where they do applicant tracking and so on and so forth. But now we're able to kind of bridge that gap in a simple, non-complex technical way. which is really, really neat.
Well, and I think that's what people are looking for. Technology, everybody knows that technology is very important, but everybody's comfortability with it is different. And so, our tech team, I would be biased, but say that they really are building it like, how can we add things to it? So it might be that we're building something and adding to it. But maybe it's a partnership like we're talking about today that we can add on and, create a fuller suite of things. But it being done in a way that it doesn't impact, any of the learners. It just, carries them on through. It also, for us is a connection to the regulators. They need that ease of like, what information do we have? How do I know that your certification is like, proof, solid proof, can't be, recreated. And, all of those elements aren't things that necessarily people think about, but are so important, especially when it comes to suddenly something happens and you're needing to show all of that trail of things that have happened.
So I'm going to sum up another key thing here that I heard from you, which is we're basically creating a world where proving certifications for the learners through kind of an all-in-one solution that also allows people that require ongoing training to be notified and to be maintained in best in-class training and always up to date with what they need. Again, whether you're in the financial and insurance services, whether you're on the field operation services, whether you're in the first responder space, it doesn't really matter. That same context and concept applies across. But you ultimately help actually the employer remove a lot of that liability by doing it this way and creating that simple method for everybody to work through. That's super neat. You guys are killing it. This is awesome. I'm loving it. So for those that don't really know what happens, I'm a person. I'm taking out my I don't know Danatech TDG course. How do we talk to each other? How do we make that so seamless for the user that for them they shouldn't even care how it happens? It's just the magic happens.
Well,
Is it right to just say magic?
It's so simple. I don't even know because I'm not on the technology team. I just said, this seems like interesting. Dan and I had a great conversation, and all the very technically, logically smart people just made it happen. And I'm sure that is very much simplifying everybody's work. But I think that to me that it continues to be the incredible thing about technology is that the ability to add those things onto it. And so suddenly things that in the past might have taken weeks or months to build into and create an integration. Now there are just simple, our system is built so that, it is simpler to partner with people and to create that value piece of it. Now my tech team might have just be really annoyed that I simplified, all their work unfairly. But in my world, it's just magic. I suggested it, it happened, and here we are.
Well, and then that speaks volume to those that are a part of your organization that can just make that idea happen. So I guess if I'm going to put on my little techie hat component, I'm going to say it's the magic happens between simple and secure APIs that ultimately transmit this information encrypted, so both parties can trust how the information is managed, how it's controlled, and ultimately how it lands into the user's wallet. And lastly, how the corporation or the employer or the purchaser of that service also gets to access that information, and for how long, right? Because we're seeing all these new regulations, right, leading from GDPR to California-based laws for data privacy, Canadian Privacy Protection Act, and all of them are talking about this portable digital credential, this ability for a person to take what's theirs and go to the next organization with it. And you can make this happen now in a simple user interface where the person, like we said, it's the magic behind the scenes that needs to happen, and everybody's just gonna walk away nicely with these digital credentials, which is cool. So one thing that I did notice about what's really needed from the We Know training side is that unlike a static badge, what we're about to do is going to revolutionize a lot of things because it's going to create now an up-to-date verified information for that user that can be accessible at any point in time. And it's not just that I can go online on, say LinkedIn and post that I have my CPR level 5 course, when really, truly, I don't. Now, when you're posting something on LinkedIn that comes from this partnership, it is a verified data set that everybody can trust. And if it expires or something happens to it, the person no longer wants to keep it up to date, everybody knows that information and that person should have kind of gone back and retaken their test, or two, that information should have been re-verified or revalidated. This is incredible. This is truly game changing in my mind, because we're creating a totally new level of proof and trust.
Well, it helps build that confidence for, those companies that have people that are hiring people and going, no, I know you actually have this. This isn't just like, a photocopy of something or this or that. Like, I know
the binder, right?
Yeah,
like the
yeah. I can feel confident in, this information, and the training that you've received, and the proof of it. And, we're, at this day and age where it's so easy with technology in some ways to kind of create illusions of things. But there's the need to actually know, is this person skilled in this? Can I trust them as a business, as a company, but can I trust them as a consumer? Do I feel confident in, in what they are have said they have as a skill and or have been trained on, or is this just sort of smoke and mirrors?
And fraud is on the rise, right? Like, I mean, I remember we were doing some research recently, and one of the announcements from one of the big four audit firms came out and said 74% of people have either lied or have something fraudulent in their certifications or in their resume, which was a huge number if you think about it, right? It's literally 25% of your workforce actually says the truth. Right? Like, that's interesting on a number to go for. But the other part that was interesting, our head of marketing was working through fake certifications, and you can literally Google fake certifications and fake certification providers. And I remember she pulled up and showed that one of them had 866 5-star positive reviews for delivery of a full deck of certifications. So it was just mind blowing that that's even a thing to say, 5-star rated this person for delivering you a fake package of certifications. And then those 866 people that chose to say like are ending up on somebody's work site.
It's
right?
scary.
That's the scary part.
It's on somebody's work site. It's, managing somebody's money. These are big things. So I think the other piece that we really are working on and focusing on is that learner verification piece of it. So, okay, how do we know that actual learner that took the course, that now has the verified certification is actually the one that is taking it?
So you're doing the KYC process, right? So you're going really down to that know your client and know your customer.
Yep.
Amazing. Tiffany, question for the audience. When are they going to expect that this is live, is ready for them, and people can get excited about it?
Well, I know they would have wanted it right this instant or yesterday or 2 weeks ago, because that's always how it is. But May 17th, this is everybody's opportunity to have the full suite of support and validation and all of that, and they can be confident. And those people that are on those job sites are helping them out.
That's amazing. Well, listen, from our side as Credivera, we're obviously very excited to partner with We Know Training and the amazing work you guys are doing, leading the ways together in some of the ways that training is managed, compliance is managed, and ultimately, I look forward to elevating the standards of training through verified credentials.
Yeah.
So, Tiff, thanks for coming up this morning and having this awesome conversation with us. And I really look forward to the launch of this partnership.
I'm excited about it. I can't wait to hear, talk to all those customers that are loving this experience. So looking forward to the next conversation as we talk about how this is all rolled out.
Yeah, I can't wait to do that customer engagement on the next one, where we can bring somebody in and be like, hey, now what did you really think about this?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Amazing. Awesome.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Talk to you soon.